Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to continue building the Tamiya Lotus Europa Special RC Car Kit. We're going to be working on steps 5 through 8. We're going to be working with the back half of the chassis, and we're first going to attach the rear arms. Then we're going to attach the gear case. After that we're going to put the pinion gear onto the motor. And lastly we're going to mount the motor into the gear case. Let's get started by looking for the hardware we're going to need for step 5. Here are the BA14 screw pins and 5 BA6 screws. We need to find A11, which is this piece right here. This piece E6, it's right there. C11 and C19 for both sides, which are this one and this one. Let's put together C11 and C19 first. Take a look at this mark on C19, and there's one on C11 as well. Pair them up on each side where that mark is facing upwards. Then we'll fasten them together with 2 BA6 screws. Alright, it's looking pretty good. Let's do the other side. Good, let's put these on. We're going to line up both ends of this C shape with this part. Then we're going to insert this screw pin all the way through. And then tighten up the screw. Make sure you still have full range of motion. Now let's do the other side. And that's what it should look like when you're done. Now let's put on this piece E6. It goes on right here with this BA6 screw. We're done with 5. Let's move on to step 6. We're going to be attaching the gear case to the chassis. Let's find all the screws we need first. Here are the 2 BA3s, the 2 BA5s, and here are the 2 BA8s. Notice the top is flat. Let me bring in the gear case from the last video. I need to find these D10s. It's going to be on this tree. Any 2 of these will do. Let's attach the gear case first. We need to open this bottom flap, line it up on top, and then turn it over and close the flap. Now let's put on these 2 BA5 screws. It should look like that. Now turn it over and put in the BA8 screws. That looks really good. Now I'm going to attach the D10s here and here. I believe these pieces hold the optional stabilizer bar. The round end's going to face the front of the car. The square side is going to face the rear. Let me put the screw in before we put it on the top of the gearbox. There we go. These are very secure. Let's move on to step 7. Just like before, let's find everything on the margin first. This is the BA21 motor plate, and this is the 20-tooth pinion gear with the grub screw. Let's bring in the motor. We're also going to need this pinion stopper. First, let's line up the motor mount with these 2 holes. This kit comes with an L wrench. Look for it in the other parts bags. I'm going to use my 1.5mm driver to put the grub screw into the pinion first. The motor shaft has one side that is flat. There it is, can you see it? And it's very important the grub screw lines up with the flat side of the motor shaft. I first push the pinion gear all the way down, touching the motor. Then I loosely fasten it to the motor shaft so it doesn't rotate. So now when I cover it with the pinion stopper, it's going to stay aligned with the motor shaft. I'm going to loosen the grub screw a little bit and then pull it up to the stopper and then tighten it again. This is a pretty clever way to put a pinion gear onto a motor. Let's move on to step 8. Again, it shows right here the pinion gear that came with the kit is 20 tooth. And according to this diagram, for a 20 tooth pinion gear, we're going to be using these two holes. And that's going to be here and here. Let's find these screws first. Here are the BA1s and the BA2s. And we're also going to need these two A7s. Let's mount the motor first. I'm going to put one of the long screws into position and try to line it up with the motor. I got one. I need to put the screw in this hole. Alright, the motor is mounted. Let's put these on. We're going to put the screws through there. That's pretty solid. Let's recap what we did today. We put together the rear arms. We mounted the gear case onto the chassis. We put the pinion onto the motor. Then we put the motor into the gear case. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you got anything out of it, please drop a like. Subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys in the next one.